to Optimize Your Body with myself, Martin Silva, and obviously I have my boy Andrew Bond out there in New York on Thanksgiving with me. How's it going out there, mate?
Very good, mate. I haven't eaten yet, so I'm ready for the feast. So it's probably in line with this podcast because we're going to talk about health and fitness over the festive season. So it's good timing, really, that we've brought this in together.
Yes, sweet. Are you hungry yet, mate? Are you angry, or you that hungry? Have you cut back that much, or you?
I've done my usual fast, mate. I was going to go for it's probably a bit extreme, but I was going to go for a 48-hour fast. But I came home and wifey had some pork shoulder cooking in the oven with some nice crackling, mate, and some Brussels sprouts. So I just ate them. So I've had a little meal. I'm going to fast now for another hour or two, and then crack into some festivities. So it should be good.
Good times. It's a big day. It's a big day out there, Thanksgiving, isn't it? Because
you joined me once. You've joined me once for it, mate. How did that go?
Oh, that was a great day, mate. That was 2 years ago. Actually,
I think that was the end of the binge. I think there was a huge binge at the end of your competition, right? So you had a week in New York.
That's right.
Eating as much
mate.
junk as you could. But I didn't know whether that might have been a step too far, I reckon.
Yeah, it might have been. So last year, folks, basically, I went out to see my man after turning pro and winning that show. Went out there for a little kitchen dinner and we went down to Boston from where he lives in New York for Thanksgiving, and we went all out and ate a fair bit of food. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So that's actually what we're going to talk about in this episode, is how to keep yourself pretty much sane and keep your body in decent health and not to stack on too much body fat and stuff and that kind of thing over the festive periods. But what I was gonna mention then, Andrew, is like what kind of stuff you would mention, what kind of stuff you'd like to bring up in terms of people trying to maintain their physique and trying to keep not go too overboard, essentially. Have you got any tips before we get going? Any short, sharp kind of tips you'd like to give the listeners?
I'd probably say initially that your main focus shouldn't be on the food, right? If you're kind of restrictive all year round, as a lot of people in the fitness game are, then the likelihood is you're going to binge during Thanksgiving or Christmas. Now, you need to switch up your mentality like we've been doing and mainly focus on health, and that's going to help you stop the binging. But I would also focus on kind of family time, like if you're trying to build relationships with your family over the festive period or friends, look to hold better conversations with them. Take the emphasis off eating the food, and then you're not going to overeat and you're not going to binge, because you can help build healthier relationships, have nice conversations, go outside, do things with the family, do things with the kids, and that's going to change your mentality then, I believe. That's
exactly right. Yeah, I think as our boy Sal says on Mindpump Media on the podcast we both tune into. Yeah. It's socially cleansing. It's a social event, and I mean, let's face it. We only get one life. We only get these opportunities once in a while to really spend time with our loved ones and our nearest and dearest. So I think it's really important not to, because I've come across a lot of people who tend to kind of beat themselves up a lot, and as you just said then, as you just reiterated then about people kind of cutting back and having a restrictive kind of eating regime where they're kind of cutting back and always trying to restrict and kind of restrict the kinds of food they eat and stuff, and then when it comes to the festive period, then they go all out and symptom eruption and binge eating, and this can sometimes go on for days, as we've both experienced ourselves, right? Yeah. Where it can turn into a few days, and then people, it's sometimes it's kind of like you're either on or you're off. And one of the main drives behind this podcast is the fact that me and Andrew have managed to find a lot more balance, and we're nowhere near perfect balance, but we're definitely on the right tracks now. And I think that's what life's all about, really, is moderation, and it's being able to embrace these times in a healthy manner, really, isn't it? So that's it, really. I think it's the restricting mindset and the going all out for days and days on end, which is what really kind of takes you a step back, both physically and mentally. So any kind of advice as far as like training goes, or any secrets you have in terms of like intermittent fasting?
I think like I was in the past, I was the guy who would use training as a punishment, right? So, like I think you found that out the day after Thanksgiving, the time you came. I was downstairs doing a workout. I was probably trying to push out 2,000 rep challenge. In the morning, I woke up,
let me just skim over that a minute. Yeah, so we both remember those cannolis, right? Were they called cannolis? Those.
They were beautiful, mate, from Boston, right?
Oh, those.
They're probably one of the best treats I've ever had, actually.
Definitely, huge error buying a box of them.
Yeah, that was a
mistake.
We started with one each, and then it escalated into a box, and for the family, but then we ate them all either. So it was a little selfish as well.
That's exactly right. Like the family didn't want any.
Binge eating.
They
They did want some. Let's not lie. They wanted some, but we ate them before they could get them. So let's not lie about that.
Most of them we devoured before they could even set eyes on them.
Yeah.
And we both, admittedly, let's face it, and like I think most people have a fat person living inside of them.
Yeah, we are those people, definitely.
Me and Andrew have this big fat man living inside of us, and
he's always trying to come out. Sometimes he creeps out from time to time, but he's under more control at the moment. He's pushing out my belly button as we speak.
He makes an appearance,
and, I'm hoping he doesn't come out tonight. I'm planning on keeping him tucked well inside there, but we'll see what happens.
Exactly, but yeah, that's it. And it's just trying to get a message across to people that we do have a life, and like we're not being really kind of regimented as such.
We're not trying to be the fun police, but we are saying that there are ways to control yourselves during these situations.
That's right. We're not trying to be a buzz killer and tell everyone that you've got to keep it within reason and don't go. Obviously, I definitely, if I was in your position now, Andrew, with those two cakes you bought, the pumpkin pie and the carrot cake.
Keep that quiet. Shout out to Billy's Bakery. Billy's Bakery in Chelsea is probably one of the best carrot cakes you're gonna find. So
I tell you what, man, I agree with that. You introduced me, didn't you? You showed me the light when I was there.
A couple of times I introduced you.
Man, those cakes are epic. I just wanted to have a little chat first about not necessarily going straight into all the stuff we were going to talk about just for a quick few minutes. Just to say, for example, what I'm doing this weekend in Australia is I'm going to a music festival, Drew.
Yeah.
Called Sensation. There's about 40,000 people going. So
nice.
We like to enjoy ourselves from time to time.
Of course.
And yeah, of course. So yeah, I party occasionally. I try to keep it. I try not to do it too often.
Yeah.
But this weekend now I've got this big festival, so there's going to be a little bit of drinking involved. There's going to be there's going to be some I'm not going to be putting not nourishing my body as such,
right.
But I'll probably nourish my mind a bit by having a blowout. So I'm going to really enjoy myself. I'm going to take my foot off the gas.
Why not, man? You got to ask yourself, how much damage can you really do in one day? It's like people. Yeah, but you can't. Let's be honest now. If you're like, for example, Thanksgiving now, how likelihood is it that I'm going to eat that much food in one day that I'm going to put a pound or two of body fat on? It's highly unlikely. It's going to take a big push for me to do that. If I overdo it and go into maybe 2 or 3 days of binge eating, that's probably when the problems occur, right? I think that happens to people where they have that day of Thanksgiving. They probably eat 4,000 or 5,000 calories, maybe more. The damage isn't done then, but then the next morning they start with a bad breakfast, maybe a high sugar breakfast, pancakes, pie, something like that, and then that escalates into another full day, and then it's a knock-on effect from there where people then start putting that body.
Andrew, that's a fantastic point, and I think that's the game changer right there. I think just to mention, I mentioned intermittent fasting, but in reality, I think it just boils down to what Andrew said. It's just more common sense, really. If you've gone ahead and you've eaten, for example, I think last year, I calculated roughly, I put away about 7,000 calories in one day on Christmas Day, there and about, and that's a lot of calories. So that's double what I normally have. And the next morning, then I just didn't have any breakfast. I had a coffee, drank some water, broke my fast at about 2 p.m. and I had a super high fat, high protein meal with lots of greens, lots of veg.
Right.
And then I think later in the evening, I think I indulged again then. But the point is just giving your body a bit of a break, right? And just allowing your body to metabolize and digest.
Yeah.
The calories.
100%, mate. It's just being aware of what's going on. Like I say, probably tomorrow morning now I'll just put in a small fast. I'll skip breakfast most definitely, and just try and be as active as I possibly can. So for me, it's taking the dog out for a walk, and I'll go and hit the gym. Now over the festive period, like, why do people give up their strength routine? You know what I mean? Why do they give up their cardio routine? When your calories are being bumped up and you're drinking more and things are more excessive, that's the time when people tend to slow down the training. Now they should be, if anything, keeping up with their training routine, and you're not going to do as much damage to your body. You're going to stay fit and healthy, strong, and you're going to move better rather than being sat on the couch eating shit all day, and that's not going to be good for your goals long term.
Yeah, there's a few things I'd like to illuminate there, because the next episode me and Andrew are going to do is going to be relating to people who want to prepare themselves for a competition, for a bodybuilding competition, whether that be, you know, a woman doing like a bikini modeling competition, or guys doing men's physique, that kind of stuff. So what I've observed, and what I used to do as well, obviously I've done 8 competitions now. Andrew's done 2. You've done 2 or 3 competitions, right?
I've done 2 myself, man, and a lot of photo shoots, really. So I've done 2 photo shoots in the past couple of weeks, and maybe another one coming up soon. So
in this arena, me and Andrew have a lot of experience when it comes to the point Andrew mentioned then about people kind of just rebounding and stopping, and not so much stopping, taking their foot off the gas altogether and indulging, say for example for Thanksgiving, the next day getting up and just going to town on themselves, so to speak, just literally having lots of sugar, non-stop eating, but then fundamentally not actually moving as much and not going to the gym. So I'm not saying you have to go to the gym. Obviously you want to spend a lot of time with the family and friends, but just like Andrew said then, just taking the dog out for a walk, going out for a walk with family, just moving a little bit, and maybe even just doing a little pump up, not necessarily, you know, lifting some heavy weights and strenuous activity, but just doing some body weight exercises, right hand, would help the blood flow around and stimulate some, you know, a bit of muscle growth, maybe not muscle growth, but, you know, stimulate the muscles to spread the water on the body and stuff.
Yeah, just keep the signal going, anabolic signal. I would definitely look to increase water intake as well, because you could probably gonna have some high sodium meals. Like I say, if you're, like I said earlier, get out and walk. Like if you have a family with you have kids, nieces, nephews, sons and daughters, why not go outside with them? Give them some vitamin D, and just build relationships with them rather than being sat down at home watching like a sitcom or movies, which can, you know, you're sat in your ass and then you're likely to overindulge again then. So. Exactly,
and not to mention the benefits of when you are kind of moving, just walking around, digestion benefits. You know, even if once you've indulged on Thanksgiving, even just going for a little 10-20 minute walk works wonders for digestion. There's definitely something going on there. If you look at the Mediterranean culture and people who have kind of the best health and longevity, they tend to go for a social kind of low intensity, you know, there's nothing strenuous about it. Just go for a light walk together, having a chat, and, you know, that kind of stuff after they've eaten, which helps a lot as well. So that's another little tip for you. Yeah. I'm not saying to do anything strenuous, but just to go for a light walk would help a little bit. But where I was going off then, until I went on a tangent, was about.
You love a tangent.
When I love a tangent. I love a random.
Check your Instagram story. Tangents everywhere.
Oh, tangent city. I was going to say about competitions. I've been there where I wasn't very experienced on the stuff we just talked about, and I've done a competition, and then I've literally, and we'll go through this on the next episode. I think we'll run through and divulge to the listeners exactly what we put away after that show I done, for that 24, 36 hours.
We'll take him in full detail.
I'm not being funny. That's got to be some sort of record, mate. That's got to be at least a European record. I don't know about America.
I think it'll be a tough way to go in America, but. I sometimes though I fancy myself at some of these eating competitions. I reckon I could do really well, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Seriously,
I really think I could do some damage in there. You know, once I get going.
I reckon me and you would be
we'd be a naughty little team together, man. We shouldn't be encouraging people on the episode. We're encouraging them not to overdo it. We shouldn't be talking about this really.
Sure. But I reckon at some point, once this podcast blows up, I reckon we should create some sort of man versus food.
I think we can do that, because I know there's people who do the 10,000 calorie challenge, and I reckon I could sink that in probably half the time they do, and more.
Exactly. But yeah, that's kind of the opposite to the best.
Yeah, sorry about that. Let's switch up. This is us in the past. We're changed guys now. Don't worry about that.
Exactly. But yeah, the point I noticed lots of competitors still do this. They'll compete, they're training, health and lever. They've got this strict regime. They're doing X amount of cardio every day, lifting weights twice a day and whatnot. And then they will literally, like, this is an error I've made before, is actually booking a holiday.
Yeah, it's bad timing.
Schoolboy error, exactly. Going back to the Thanksgiving in New York with Andrew, luckily at this point we were starting to get a bit more educated, and actually we didn't do as much damage as what we have done in the past, and we were actually fasting a lot and training and stuff like that, so it wasn't too bad. But people book holiday and they'll sit down by the pool for a week, they won't move, they'll eat, they're just stuffing their face non-stop, they'll stop training, and that's the worst thing you can do. And I wanted Andrew to just enhance.
Who are the worst? Who are the worst kinds of people around the festive period, though? Like, we have been those people before. We've been those totally restrictive guys. I'm sure there's a lot of people now who can relate to this, who are listening into this podcast, who are well into their fitness. They're supposed to be super healthy, they're in great physical condition. They look good from the outside, but internally there's kind of a mental issue there where they do go and use these 2 days, Thanksgiving, or 3 days, Thanksgiving, Christmas Day and Boxing Day we have in the UK, and they do a full cheat day. Now, that's just not healthy at all. Like, that's what I want to reiterate here. That's when the issue comes, and I'm starting to move out of that now, where I'm employing different tactics to help me both mentally and physically. Whether it'll be fasting, or even today when I go and start my Thanksgiving dinner, what I'll look to do is I'll look to fill up on the protein and vegetables first, so I get myself satiated, and then I'm less likely then to overconsume on like sugary carbohydrates or simple carbohydrates that could do the most damaging effect.
Sorry, mate, come a little bit close to the thing a bit.
Sorry, mate. Did you hear that?
Yeah, that's better. Go on.
Can't remember a damn thing I said, but
you were saying that. So like with the carbs, you'll kind of
so the way I would approach dinner. So if you are listening now and you're looking to approach your dinner in a different way, I would definitely to pile up on the vegetables first, and some protein. So that's going to help make me satiated and make me feel full. And then I'm less likely then to reach and overconsume for carbohydrates. Or even if there is something that tickles my fancy and something I like, I'm less likely to have a second or third helping of that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Does that make sense or no?
Yeah, never really done or implemented is just really putting veg a priority. And I normally, that's when I have a meal, I think, right, okay, I'll get that veg in. And that's my top priority. Once I've got the veg in, then everything else is kind of secondary. I do tend to eat it together, so it's a bit more, it's a bit more enjoyable to eat. But that's definitely the number one. Really, is getting the veg in, getting the fibre in. Which is gonna, as Andrew said, then it's gonna help you be more satisfied then, and it's gonna increase satiety then, so you're not gonna be as hungry going later on into the day. So yeah, I've kind of I completely got a bit derailed there when you were talking. I had something I wanted to mention. We can edit this part out anyway, mate. We'll work it out, and if we can't, then they're gonna just have to listen to it.
Just sit down and listen in. Sorry, brother.
It took us about a week
Beavis
to work out of Skype.
Beavis and Butthead trying to work a computer.
Beavis and Butthead strike again. Jesus. I've lost my train of thought now.
Let me ask you a question. Go on. If you hold on to that thought. Let me ask you a question here. If you're preparing for the music festival this weekend, how, in relation to that, should you prepare kind of in the same way for Thanksgiving feast or Christmas feast? How would you prepare in the same way? Will you imply similar tactics, or try something a little bit different?
So yeah, just to give you more of a heads up on this weekend. So the music festival starts at about 12. So I'll get there for about 2 p.m. and it finishes at 11 p.m. Start of the summer is going to be around about 30 degrees. You'll be dancing all day.
Are you in shape for it? Or?
I'm in shape, ready. Yeah. So if I'm honest, I think it's a very good question, because I think it's kind of similar but opposite for me in terms of what I'm going to eat today. I'm going to make sure I get enough calories in today now, because I know at the festival, generally I'm not really going to eat a great deal, because I'm going to be there enjoying the music, having fun with friends, having a few drinks and whatnot. I I will focus on staying hydrated and stuff. But today I'm gonna bump my calories up, and I'm gonna allow myself to have more carbohydrates. I'm gonna get a good training session in, and I'm just gonna bump my calories up just to fuel my body ready for tomorrow. Because I know there's not going to be a great deal of calories consumed tomorrow. I'll probably have one meal tomorrow, maybe two at most, and just focus on hydrating and getting a really good sleep tonight now. But all week I've been kind of just really trying to make extra efforts to look after myself, get sufficient sleep, drink plenty of water, and you know what? Actually, more importantly, is to not overtrain. So not to actually. I've only done 1 in 10 session this week, so I've been super busy in the gym with clients and outside as well. So so I've just kind of listened to my body.
Yep.
Because don't forget, folks, the high intensity kind of training, it's going to take it out of your immune system for a few days. So it's going to take your nervous system some time to recover from that. So today I'm going to do a decent session, fairly intense, but I will listen to my body, and I won't go too crazy because I know tomorrow my body's essentially going to still be recovering, whilst I am fist pumping and bopping away in the music festival.
Bobbing and weaving. So
that
by
the way, me and Andrew are extremely good dancers, right? So I'll have to post you guys a video, right? I'll show you my moves.
We'll do a YouTube video for you.
YouTube video, job done.
So what you said there is pretty.
Guys and girls, I completely forgot. I'm going to be straight. I didn't make any notes here, right? I've been a bit unorganised, and I completely forgot that point. But Andrew's got his notes with him, thankfully. So
just about.
Crack on, mate.
So the tactics you're employing there is pretty much similar to what you guys should do leading up to your Christmas festivities, especially increasing water. The only thing I would do differently there is because you're going for slightly higher calories, right? Because you're not going to eat much this weekend.
Just for today, only because I know I'm not going to be eating much tomorrow, so today
which makes sense, which is smart with your regard. But if you're doing the opposite to that, where you're going for a Christmas meal or a works meal, I would do the opposite. So I would probably try and restrict my calories for a few days beforehand. If you don't feel healthy enough and you're not in check enough to fast for now, I would just go for lighter meals, maybe the day before. So maybe restrict the amount of fats and carbohydrates you have, and just increase your vegetable salad and have some lean protein. And just have a few restricted days here. There, have the big feast on Christmas Day or Thanksgiving, and have a few days where you're restrictive. A couple of days after. It's kind of the way you should eat anyway, where you should have like high and low days depending on your activity and what you're doing.
I'll just emphasise that. I wanted to intervene a bit there and just say, that's exactly right. That's I can't express enough how me and Andrew have taken our game to another level again, just by undulating calories. Because the human body thrives and flourishes on having a variety of calories each day, ideally based on your activity levels and what training you're doing. But from an evolutionary standpoint, we wouldn't have a choice in terms of how many calories. We wouldn't be able to stick to the same calories every day, and as a lot of people tend to do with this if it fits your macros tribe, where it's flexible dieting, which me and Andrew once kind of dipped our foot into. Didn't really work out for us.
Which I'll be doing this evening, flexible dieting. Don't worry about that.
We'll say that for another episode, but
of course.
Just every day. I mean, if just like Andrew said, then for example, you've got Christmas Day, you've got Thanksgiving, or even if you're going to go out on a day
exactly a night out, mate. Exactly, like a night out drinking, mate, is the same thing. You want to light the day because alcohol is going to obviously tip you over your boundary for calories, and it lowers inhibition. So the likelihood is you're going to eat some shitty food at night is high. So if you have a lighter day, the less damage you're going to do throughout the evening.
That's exactly right, and that's what tomorrow will do. I tend to stick to low-calorie drinks, justifying it. I tend to stick to low-calorie drinks such as like gin and tonic.
Calories don't count.
As well, and it's got antioxidants in it. You saw that on my.
I heard that bullshit on your Instagram.
Exactly. Yeah, guys and girls, if you are going to drink, right? I got this off a podcast, so I really kind of tune into, and it's really effective. Anyway. Bombay Sapphire gin or gin has a lot of antioxidants in it, and so does red wine, right? So if you are going to drink alcohol,
not a full bottle,
not a bottle, 1 or 2 glasses of red wine. Going back to the Mediterranean culture, seems to work for them, but a lot more effective with meals. So it's a lot more toxic if you don't have it with food. They tend to drink it with food, so 1 or 2 glasses with food, back full of polyphenols and antioxidants, which can counteract the toxins a little bit, but still bad news. Gin and tonic, I'll drink tomorrow. And as Andrew said then, it will definitely lower my inhibitions and essentially maybe not give a shit as much about what I eat later in the night. So I'll probably, I may possibly have some dirty food in the evening then. But the point is, I'm only going to have one meal tomorrow. I'm going to be dancing around all day, burning calories. So it's a unique kind of situation, really. But if you've got Christmas parties where you're going to be out kind of indulging all day, eating, drinking and whatnot, then take Andrew's advice, really, and cut back the calories for a day or maybe even two.
I think the issue with these parties is kind of similar to when you go away on vacation, right? And it's all inclusive. I've been to Dubai in the summertime, right? And I've watched people eat and they just pile everything up on their plate because it's free. They just pile in like breakfast upon breakfast, like pancakes, toast, eggs, bacon, sausage, mushrooms, and then they leave half of it. But it's just crazy how they find that they've paid for the all-inclusive and then they just overindulge. Just similar to what you're going to do on Thanksgiving and Christmas. You're going to try and pile up as much as you can on your plate. Too much, you're going to gorge and you're going to feel sick. And that's the way you should not be feeling. You should be eating until you're satisfied and just leave it at that. Same on your Christmas party with free alcohol or free food. I understand it's free and you want to take advantage of your company for giving you shit all year, but let's be honest, just be sensible about it.
Said that, though, like you admit now, like obviously you're probably still going to go a little bit overboard because we're still kind of learning and working on the emotional eating side of it, and so am I. But Andrew, as Andrew was saying, the ideal way to do it is because we tend to just eat for the sake of it. Because I just wanted to illuminate the fact that our brains have kind of been hijacked by the food industry, including me and Andrew. From a young age you're kind of eating foods which are processed, and you're basically eating foods which are engineered to be palatable and not to be necessarily beneficial to your health. So we eat with our emotions. Most of us do, and me and Andrew still do. Andrew and I still do occasionally as well. You're eating the food, and just like Andrew said then, in an ideal world, it'd be great to eat until you're full. Really listen to the signals, which again have been hijacked from the foods we've eaten in the past. The actual signals, the original signals that we were born with, have been kind of corrupted. So we know instinctively when to stop, but the emotions, for the most part, will get the better of us on these occasions. But it's just being mindful of that, right, And?
Yeah, it's just don't let it become an excuse. We're adults at the end of the day, so we just need a little touch of control.
And on that point, And, right, in 10 minutes' time, you've got your fees, right? So in 10 minutes' time,
it's all going to go downhill, mate. Yeah, I'll be crying to myself in the morning now after all the damage I've done after recording this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. He'd be rocking himself to sleep, crying his eyes out.
I'm giving everyone advice now, but I'm not following my own advice, so...
Practice what you preach and all that.
No, I'll be good.
So
I'm in a much better place than I used to be, I know that.
So speaking of emotional eating, what part are you looking forward to the most, mate, out of your Thanksgiving feast?
Oh man, I don't know. All of it probably. I'm not sure exactly what's on the menu. We're going over to a friend's house tonight. I know I just had some of this pork shoulder, man. It's on another level. It's so good. It's been in the oven all day. It's got that crackling fat, spot on, mate. And I'm sure a lot
of the listeners are dribbling everywhere now.
I don't know about that. If they were,
we might be giving off the wrong message. I think we're
possibly. I think we're confusing people. Yeah.
It's more like a food commercial. We've gone a bit on topic here.
We're actually sponsored by Billy's Bakery as well. I said we're sponsored by Billy's Bakery, so pop down there between now and Christmas. You can pick up some carrot cake, banana cake, pumpkin pie, anything you want.
At the end of the podcast, give me a 5-star review.
Yeah.
And, I just wanted to shout out Billy's Bakery.
Head to Billy's.
And pumpkin pies.
Best in town.
Andrew's sponsored by them.
That's it.
I'm sponsored by Organifi, though. I like to keep it clean.
Yeah, of course you are.
No, but just to summarise now, before Andrew misses his beautiful feast and gets...
I know you're jealous about that. I know you're jealous about it.
Yeah, let's just summarise now then, okay, just to give the listeners some really fundamental tips going into these festive periods, Christmas parties or weekends of indulgence. What's your top 3 tips, Andrew, to maintain a good state of health, both physically and mentally?
For me, I would say most definitely be mindful. Don't gorge. Try not to overdo it. Have awareness of what's going on. Definitely try and build relationships with family.
Sorry to interrupt. I think you have to bring your head over.
Sorry. Here we go. Is that better?
Oh, sorry. Sorry to interrupt. Go on.
Okay, it's fine, mate. Just be mindful of and aware of what's going on. It doesn't have to turn into a binge or gorge. You can enjoy your favourite foods. Try and eat until you're satisfied. Don't eat until you're sick. Definitely look to build relationships with family and friends. And that's going to take your focus off the eating. And that's going to help you maintain a good balanced relationship with them. And for me, just be prepared. So if you are leading up to a feast during the day, you could either put in a fast. I would increase my water intake. I would start moving more. Don't neglect your training. Be active. And that's my 3 tips there.
Cool. Yeah, I think you cut off a bit there. If you speak from there, just speak from there, man.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
From where you were. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, just speak. Yeah,
Hello.
Yeah, because it sounds better now. I think when you were leaving,
Right.
I don't know. But anyway,
okay.
yeah.
Well, make your mind up. You told me to come closer. You told me to get back. You told me to come closer. Where do you want me?
Mate, I'm just trying to get you to burn some calories, mate.
Thanks, mate. Any extra movement's gonna work, right?
No, but they were very good points, and my
How about yourself,
advice would just to be, sorry, man. Yeah, my advice is similar to Andrew's, but just to embrace the times above everything, to trump everything we just talked about, is to really try and be present with family and friends and just enjoy the company. I know this is a bit off topic, but like stay off your phone and stuff like that, just really try and be, just interact with your family as much as you can and really enjoy it. If you go overboard, you go overboard. Most
don't
people
panic.
do. Exactly. That's it. Don't kick yourself and
just go back to normal the next day, right? It's if you go overboard and you go crazy, you'll be fine the next day if you just go back to your normal routine. Simple.
That's exactly right.
Don't let it escalate.
Talking about we talked about a lot of short-term stuff and maintaining your physique and not doing yourself any kind of emotional damage by binging for days. But looking at long-term effects as well, I think if you're going to have the indulgence all day, Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, whatever, the next day, give yourself a bit of a break in the morning. Simple as that, really. Just get some water down you. Hold off your first meal. And just try not to eat the processed stuff. Try and have a nice healthy meal. Get some veg in. Make it tasty, but it doesn't have to be bland. But just try not to have a sugary kind of or cakes and rubbish kind of garbage food as soon as you get up the next day and binge eating for another day. It's just not going to do you any favors, mentally or emotionally or physically, really.
Can be a knock-on effect, right?
Knock-on effect, exactly. So that was an off-the-cuff freestyle there. So it's a different one there for you folks, but so a nice one for chiming in there, Ans. I couldn't have done it without you there, mate, because my organisation was shoddy as usual. So thanks for that.
No worries, mate. I got you.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Thanks, mate.
Andrew's the glue holding this podcast together. So if you'd like to give me a 5-star review, forget about Andrew, right? Just give me a 5-star review. just give me a 5-star review on iTunes. If you could subscribe, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast as well. Give me a 5-star review and rating 5-star rating and a review if you could. I'd be really appreciate that. And go check me out on Instagram at Martin Silva Fitness and check out my YouTube channel by typing in Martin Silva Fitness. And Andrew, what are your platforms, buddy?
You can check me out on Instagram at Mr. Bond Fitness and then email inquiries mrbondfitness@gmail.com. That's BOND. Thank you.
Okay, folks, just in case you're wondering, just to finish off, me and Andrew have been thinking about collaborating and starting a podcast together. But I think what we might do is I might just keep my one going here, Optimize Your Body, have Andrew chip in and feature on my podcast to give you guys plenty of knowledge bombs. And he might be doing the same as well. So stay tuned for his podcast. You'll be hearing. This is just the start. So thanks for listening, and Andrew, make sure you get stuck into that meal, buddy.
Oh yes, I will.
Awesome. So maybe want to stop the recording now, buddy.
Okay, buddy.